In 1964, Frank built a concrete wall in the Maruia Valley of South Island, New Zealand. It doesn't form a boundary or enclose anything, and 3/4 of it is underground. Why would Frank be disappointed by the wall's longevity? I'll say that again. In 1964, Frank built a concrete wall in the Maruia Valley of South Island, New Zealand. It doesn't form a boundary or enclose anything, and 3/4 of it is underground. Why would Frank be disappointed by the wall's longevity?
He built a wall, but he wants it to come down.
First thing I thought was just art installation.
I was thinking, I mean, if he's upset by the longevity, is it not that the wall has broken down, but maybe it no longer belongs to him? Or maybe because it's underground, you couldn't say that that's your land?
Yeah, the underground thing is interesting.
Concrete as well.
What's happening under New Zealand? I've never even thought about this. There's probably volcanic activity. Maybe there are weird reservoirs. I don't even know. Maybe there's a secret club down there. I don't.
What's happening under New Zealand is a very good question there, Annie.
Oh, now I'm imagining a club. Okay.
I'm thinking of all the little animal burrows as they come around. They're doing the club. They're having a little party at the concrete wall.
There's just one very disappointed mole who's been digging that way for one. Dunk, dunk. Sorry, need to remember, do not make jokes like that in my authoritative factual voice. It doesn't work.
Well, Tom Scott said there's a single Kiwi mole.
Right. So I know very little about New Zealand, but I live in a corner of the world where everything underground is a mine. Is there mining in that region of New Zealand?
No, I think Annie was certainly closer with volcanoes. Not that close, but certainly closer.
Okay, so I'm not close, but closer, and I will take it. What's like a volcano?
Lava tube?
Mineral degradation? Why did he build 3/4 of it underground anyway? What's the point? What was the point of this wall?
Did he expect it to erode? And then it would all erode away or something?
Erode isn't the right word, but yes, that was kind of the point of it. We are in a remote mountainous setting here.
So I'm wondering what it's indicative of, if it signals some kind of change that would be happening underground, like it's a measurement tool in some way.
We're measuring.
Is it to measure like the fertility of the ground, like how good it could be for growing vegetables or?
No, I'd say you're still closer with volcanoes and things like that. New Zealand is
tectonic plate boundary in New Zealand?
Yes, there is.
Oh.
This is so exciting. Okay. Wow.
It's a timer for measuring when the next earthquake will hit.
That's very close, Charlotte.
Oh,
if the wall, maybe it was built at the boundary, and if the wall was to crumble, it would indicate that there was a lot of tectonic movement, which indicates that an earthquake is imminent, or a large one, a scale.
But this guy's disappointed that it still exists. Maybe he just wants the world to be destroyed. And
maybe he wasn't expecting it to be so soon, and then the next day, an earthquake was coming.
You've got most of this. This is Frank Everson, a geophysicist who commissioned the building of a concrete wall across the Alpine Fault, which is the boundary between the Pacific and Australian tectonic plates. You've got that, but you're right, he's a geophysicist. He doesn't want to, he's not trying to bring on an earthquake here. So why is he disappointed that it's still standing?
Was he predicting that an earthquake was going to come within the next year, for example, as a geophysicist? And then a year had passed and it turned out that it was still standing, so he was wrong in his prediction, but he wanted to prove that he was going to be right.
He was testing a theory, or at least trying to provide data.
Did you say what time frame this was, Tom?
1964.
Oh, so this is right when they found out about tectonics. Well,
It's amazing how late the world found out about tectonics, right?
Yeah, right?
The huge earthquakes were happening, and they were like, oh, I wonder why. The Richter, I don't have the exact quote, but the Richter guy from the Richter scale, he has all these really snarky quotes about like, stop trying to predict when it's going to happen. We like barely even know what tectonics are.
Oh.
Just focus on the basics.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if I had the exact quote, it would be a lot funnier because it was, I remember it being kind of profane.
You've hit a key point there, Annie, which is that this was the very early days of figuring out that there were tectonic plates and they moved like this. So why might you build a wall across a fault in 1964?
Did they think that these things were really trucking along? And it's like, oh boy, they actually move so subtly that it's hard to measure?
Oh, so close. Really, really close. I think the key phrase in there, Annie, is move so suddenly. What might he have been trying to figure out?
Is it just as simple as he was trying to figure out what the speed was?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, he was.
Oh.
The intention of the wall was to shear at that junction so they can figure out, visibly, obviously, how fast do these plates move. So why would he be disappointed that it's still standing?
Because they move really slowly.
Oh, yeah.
But they still have big effects.
Oh. Well, the trouble is they don't always move really slowly.
Oh, okay. Well, so, I don't know. In my head, they do. That's the stereotype, I guess.
But, I mean, why do we have earthquakes? What is an earthquake?
Yeah, it's just sudden movement on a fault.
Keep going, Alexis.
Okay. Sudden movement on a fault. One side shifts dramatically compared to the other.
Yep.
Where does the wall come into that?
You know what? I'm going to give you that. It is, you talked about sudden movements. So this is a wall built across a fault line designed to measure how much the plates are moving over time. And eventually the wall will shear and it will be obvious and you can measure it. He would be disappointed were he still alive because that fault has not shifted at all because that is not how faults move. Faults move very suddenly, causing earthquakes. At some point, yeah, that wall's getting torn down, but it hasn't happened since 1964 because that fault hasn't moved in that direction.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
This is Frank Everson, a geophysicist, built the wall with the intention to shear it at that junction, but the wall remains resolutely straight. But they did learn that the tectonic plates move in large jumps rather than a slow, gradual creep.
Cool.
The Lateral Producers Club is at lateralcast.com if you would like more lateral, fewer adverts, and to support the show.